I'm somewhere in the middle, try to find myself again.
Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So the other day when I done an update after my little sabbatical from YouTube, I said that I didn't have any videos ready, but I was lying. I completely forgot that I had this video edited and ready to go, except for the fact that I needed to do a voiceover for it. So welcome to this video that I filmed many weeks ago. It was actually filmed literally a week after my granny died. Back then, I was still like, I'm going to keep filming, I'm going to keep doing YouTube. I was trying to keep on keeping on. So just filmed this video as I went about my day, and I thought I'll deal with editing it later on. And then obviously I did end up taking some time off from YouTube. So this particular Sunday I woke up with a rocket up my backside. I just wanted to feel a little bit more normal and get stuff organised. I know I had a lot of food in the fridge that was going to go to waste. I hadn't done any housework in a whole entire week. I had the biggest pile of washing. I had done dishes. Mark had actually done most of the dishes, to be fair to him. I had a lot of food prep as well to get done. At this point, I was planning on being on Slimming World from that day. And I was like, I'll get stuff prepared today while I'm feeling like it, because I really wasn't feeling like cooking at all that week. And I think I did manage to stay on Slimming World for maybe 3 or 4 days that week, and then it's just all gone to crap since then. Anyway, before I can get started with anything else that I want to get done on this particular day, I need a clean working environment, so I need to get these dishes done. Okay guys, what you're looking at right now is my bunker right beside my sink, obviously. But I left this in. I was going to edit it out because, you can see these big, missing pieces of the bunker. What actually happened was, one was me and one was Mark. On 2 separate occasions, many years apart, we burnt the bunker. We put a frying pan on the bunker and it melted the plastic and peeled it off. And I don't know what to do with it, so I left this in to ask your guys' advice. What would you do with it? Because I don't want to replace the whole entire bunker. It seems so expensive, and it's only this little area here that's actually damaged right beside the sink. It's not the entire kitchen. So what would you guys do? Give me your suggestions. Hit me up with your suggestions, because it's driving me batty. Anyway, I'm now on to doing some food prep. What I'm doing now is just putting my eggs on to boil. I'm going to make some boiled eggs and some deviled eggs. And then also make a start on my butternut squash soup. The first stage of this is getting it in the oven. The butternut squash has actually been in my fridge. I think at this point it was in my fridge for 2 weeks, and it held up really well. It didn't start to decay or anything. It was in my fridge for 2 weeks. I'd been intending to make this. So I was actually pretty chuffed that it hadn't went bad and I could still make the soup. I don't do much in the way of prep for this to put it in the oven. All I do is cut it in half, scoop out the seeds and chuck it in. I don't even spray it or put salt and pepper or anything on it. I just chuck it in the oven. I think it took about 45 minutes to roast in the oven.
I don't care at all, baby, you got my attention. So you were saying, oh no.
Oh, and look at these two cuties. It's nice to have an audience while I'm doing food prep and stuff around the kitchen. I'm now going on to make some corn dog muffins for Ali. I got this corn muffin mix from Amazon. I think it was £3 something. And I got the idea from Jamarelle Stewart, who I absolutely love watching. She's one of my favourite YouTubers. She was making it for her kids one day, and I thought Ali would absolutely love that because he loves corn dogs. So just quickly mix up the corn muffin mix. That's really easy, straightforward. Add an egg, add some milk, and then I chop up my hot dogs. I don't exactly know how many I'm needing, so I just actually go ahead and chop up the whole tin. I spray my muffin tray with Fry Light. But I actually really wish that I'd used my muffin cases. I wish I'd went to the effort to go and dig in my cupboard and find them, because they cooked perfectly. They weren't sticking to the muffin tray, or, well, it was silicone anyway, but they weren't sticking to it or anything like that. It was just, they were really crumbly. The mixture was really crumbly, so when we pulled them out, it kind of just fell to bits a little bit. So next time that I do make this, and I will make it again because Ali loved them, I will definitely make sure that I use my muffin liners. So my eggs have been boiling for about 12 minutes now, and I just drain them and plonk them in some icy cold water. Those green things that you can see in the bowl, those are reusable ice cubes that I got from Poundland a good couple of years ago. And I have to say, I am not the biggest fan in the world of them. I'm only using them out because I have nothing else, no other ice in my freezer at the minute. That's the corn dog muffins just coming out of the oven. They look lovely. I just test them by sticking a knife in every single one just to make sure. I need to make sure they're all ready. And you can't see him, he's just slightly off camera. But Ali's also there to see how they've turned out. And then obviously he's got to sample them. Let's not focus in on Ali's hair. It's an absolute state. He had it shaved at the start of lockdown, and this was the end of lockdown, and I can confirm he's had it cut since then. And then I do have a few leftover hot dogs, so I give them to the animals. Look at Rosie hiding under that chair at the back. I don't understand why she does that. We didn't have the mat under there initially. She just kept going under the chair and under the table, so I put a mat there to make it more comfortable for her. And you can't see him, but he's kinda off screen. But if you look right at the bottom, you'll see me giving Simba a hot dog, and I do keep one for Nala because she's actually out at the minute, I think, or she's upstairs sleeping. She's somewhere else that's not in this kitchen.
Quite a lonely world that we're living in. Oh, baby, you are something special, I'm sure. Everything makes total sense when you're next to me.
Time for me to get on with the deviled eggs. So I used a whole tray of 15 eggs, so I put 7 of them in my little lunch tub with the shell still on. They'll last in the fridge for at least a week. If I leave the shell on, it means that they'll last longer in the fridge, which is why I do that. Whereas if I take the shell off, it means I'll only have a couple of days to use them. So with the remaining 8 eggs, I just make some deviled eggs. You guys have seen this before. You've seen me making this before. But for those that haven't seen this before, I use 6 tablespoons of lighter than light mayonnaise, 2 tablespoons of the French's yellow mustard, a good few splashes of Tabasco, salt and pepper, and then I give it all a good mix. And it works out to about half a cent for 2 halves. So basically half a cent an egg. And it's so delicious, a nice little treat. Ali actually doesn't like very many eggs. He's sort of getting better now actually as he gets older. But 6 months ago, the only eggs Ali would eat would be scrambled egg or chopped up egg in a cup. But now he actually requests for me to make these because he really likes these deviled eggs. Hence the reason I'm making 8 of these at once, because these do not last long when Ali's about. And truth be told, those boiled eggs that went in the fridge with their shells still on, they also got turned into deviled eggs. Once I'm finished with the eggs, I make a start on getting everything else ready to make the soup. I peel and chop some potatoes. I think I do 4 little ones. You don't really need many for the butternut squash soup. And then I peel and chop a whole onion. I just roughly chop everything because it's all going to get blended at the end anyway. So it really doesn't matter how it's chopped. Not that I'm really particularly fussy about how I chop stuff anyway, whether it's getting blended or not, it's just it really doesn't matter at this point, especially how it's chopped. I get my big soup pot out for this and I spray it with some fry light, and then I add the onion and get that sauteing while I prep my butternut squash, which is actually quite easy to peel once it's been in the oven, but because it's so hot, literally I've just taken it right out the oven. And because it's so hot, I use a knife to help me get it off because I don't want to proper burn my fingers or anything. You can see how easy it does come off, even with a knife. And that's not even a sharp knife, that's one of my old knives that are really blunt. And then I put the butternut squash, the potatoes. I put 2 chicken stock pots in and fill it up with water. I use chicken stock pots because I do prefer meat-based stock pots rather than a vegetable one. I think the vegetable ones don't really have much flavour or don't add much to the soup, so I do use the meat-based ones. I add salt and pepper, and then I just bring that to the boil and then turn it down to a medium heat and leave it simmering for about half an hour, 45 minutes until everything's cooked through. And by this time I've actually built up a big pile of dishes again, so I work on putting away the dishes that were dried from the ones that I'd done earlier this morning, and then I get these ones done. I hate having big massive piles of dishes all about me, especially when I've still got more cooking and that to get done.
But I see you need something else than what you want. I wish you could see yourself just like I do. Maybe you would know by now I really liked you. I'm not missing you. I'm not fooling myself just like you. I'd rather break my own thread like a needle and stitch you up just for you to tear it up again. Now I'm through. I'm not missing you. I'm not missing you.
And look at what's happening here. This is Mark being too lazy to go upstairs and get a clean towel. So he's washed his face and he's came through, went into the dirty washing basket, and he's using a dirty towel to dry his clean face. I never noticed that he'd done that until I was editing this video. I've had to laugh. Is this typical man behaviour or just Mark behaviour?
Wish you could see yourself just like I do. Maybe you would know by now I really liked you.
I'm also filling up my coffee pods. That was on my to-do list today because that is one of the most important jobs in this house. I got my coffee pod holder from Argos in the January sales. It was only £6 or something. I just got one of the ones with 2 columns because the one with 4 columns would take up too much room. Oh, now it's time for some ironing. This is probably one of my least favourite household chores. In fact, they're all my least favourite. I'm not the biggest fan of doing housework. It just needs to be done, which is why I feel like I'm always doing it. And actually, this is ironing that's been sat there a week. This isn't the washing that I've been doing today. This is a pile of ironing that's been there for over a week. and been needing done, so I need to attack that today. And you will see me running back and forward to the back door. That's because Nala's wanting out, and then 30 seconds later she wants back in again. You will also see me checking on my soup. I try it and decide that it needs another stock pot and more salt and pepper. And then along comes Ali, and Simba's actually lying on the floor. Simba's lying on Diego's mat. I think Diego's actually out the back at this point. And Ali just comes through to have a little play with him. You'll see him. It looks like he's kicking him, but he's actually just flicking out his feet, and Simba's trying to catch his feet and playing. They played like this for ages. And the camera keeps shaking. Eventually, at one point, the camera falls because Ali's just started jumping over Simba and off. You can see the camera going there. And then Simba is lying there after Ali leaves him, and he's just like, where did he go? Don't worry about the cruddy bits on the dog's mats. I do actually hoover after we've had our dinner later that night. I just wait until I've done all the food prep and everything, because there's no point in doing it beforehand because I just make a big mess. So my soup is ready now, and I'm actually getting the chance to use my hand blender for the very first time. It's an exciting day, isn't it, when you get to use one of your new kitchen gadgets for the first time. I have had a hand blender before many years ago and it just stopped working, so I got rid of it. But since I started Slimming World, I have been meaning to get another one because it's so much easier. I do prefer soup that's blended down, and I like it nice and thick. So my plans for this soup is to have it for lunch for the following 2 days, and then I'm going to have some tubs in the freezer for other lunches or meals or whatever. In the big tub I put enough for me and Ali both have lunch for the following 2 days, so that's 4 portions, and then I'll get another 3 smaller ones in the freezer, so 7 portions altogether. Oh god, why am I showing you this? Why am I showing you the inside of my fridge? This is pretty much my main priority on today's to-do list, is to go through this fridge and get everything sorted out. Take out any of the fresh fruit and veg that's gone bad. Because I bought this all on the 10th of July and Granny passed away on the 12th, so we really didn't get much of a chance to use any of it. So if I'm right in thinking, I filmed this on the 19th of July, and you can see that some of these vegetables are well past their sell-by date, which isn't too bad. I don't really go with best before dates or sell-by dates on the vegetables. I'm not too concerned with that. I generally just use vegetables unless they're rotten. The only time I really do worry about use by dates is for meat, but usually I get round that by putting my meats in the freezer so I don't miss the best before dates. Oh, those strawberries are gone. Yeah, they're gone. That was £2.50 that I wasted. There's just loads of other rubbish in there. You can see the tubs of the eggs in it. So what I decided to do is just start by getting the dinner ready, because I know there's a lot of the vegetables that I'm going to use for the dinner that evening. I'm making Cajun chicken pasta. So I'm going to use some tomatoes, some courgettes and the spinach and an onion as well. So I just start by washing all them off, rinsing them off. I don't have a salad spinner. I did at one point, but then it got cracked. It was quite a cheap one. So I'm actually going to invest in a one that's hopefully longer lasting, like the OXO one. I've seen an OXO one that I quite like. So I didn't get on camera, but I did chop up my tomatoes and one courgette that I needed for the dinner. And then with the remaining 2 courgettes, because I bought a pack of 3, I just get little freezer bags and chop them up, put them in the freezer bags and put them in the freezer. So they're already prepped to put in another dinner, have on the side of another dinner, like Mediterranean veg, or put in a casserole or something. I will use them. It's just, I don't want them going bad in the fridge, and I don't have any plans in the next few days to use them. So put them in the freezer and they'll last longer. I hate wasting food. I was so mad at myself that I had all that food in the fridge, and well, I thought at this point, I thought it was all going to waste. I actually didn't end up wasting very much at all. Cutting up a red onion for my Cajun chicken pasta. I think I usually use just a regular onion for this, but I did have a red onion that needed using, so I just decided to go ahead and use that. Spray the pan with fry light, and then I put in the onion. Why am I not putting in the onion? What am I doing? What am I doing here? Oh, garlic. That's what I'm doing. So I do put in the onion, and then I get, I didn't have any garlic in the fridge. Well, actually at this point I didn't think I had, I just hadn't seen it yet. I did have a garlic in the fridge. So I just used the lazy garlic anyway, because I didn't think that I had a garlic. I then go on to cut up the chicken. I cut off some of the skin or fatty bits that are still on it. And I'm actually making 2 Cajun chicken pastas, because I'm making one with all the speed veg for me and Ali, because we'll eat that. But you know, if you guys know Mark, he doesn't eat vegetables, so I make a separate one for him, which is literally just chicken and pasta in the seasoning. So then I add the chicken to both the pans and give them a good stir. And then once the chicken's browned, I add the vegetables, and I also add the pasta and some chicken stock, which apparently I didn't record. Oh, I also add some Cajun seasoning as well. Pretty much the main ingredient if I want to make Cajun chicken pasta. So mine and Ali's looks lovely and colourful, and this is Mark's one, which just looks pretty beige. I had to show you guys this. This is all the animals. That's Nala, Diego. Oh, they're all sleeping as I'm still being busy around the kitchen. That's Rosie. She was sleeping, but then she heard me coming close. She thinks she's in trouble because I'm pointing a camera at her. It's so cute. And then Simba. Oh, I'll wake him up too. I just thought it was so sweet, them all just sitting around sleeping. They usually, if they want to sleep, just go to their own beds. And this is me actually cleaning out the fridge, trying to get things sorted. So I actually decided to bring out my fruit bowl again. The fruit bowl's been gone for quite a while. Since the kittens were about 4 months old, we were storing the fresh fruit in the fridge because the kittens would try and eat them. They were trying to eat any food that was left out. But they're actually a lot better for that now, so I decided to chance it and see how we go with the fruit bowl. And here's the after of my fridge clear out. As you can see, it's all nice and tidied up. Everything's organised. I've sorted out everything that needed thrown out. I think I just thrown out some strawberries and maybe a few little oranges. I don't think I actually had to throw out much else, but I just like looking at my fridge when it's all nice and tidy like this. It hadn't been like that in quite some time. There's something oddly satisfying about having a nice, tidy, organised fridge. Call me a flipping weirdo if you want. I'm just that kind of weirdo. Oh, I also decided that for dinner we're going to have some garlic bread with it because I found 2 random slices of garlic bread in the freezer. So I thought Mark and Ali could have them and I'll have the ciabatta roll, the chores ciabatta roll that I spray with fry light and then pop them in the oven for a few minutes. I do add some mixed herbs to this as well. I've also got some leftover spinach that I don't add to the Cajun chicken pasta, so I'll put that in a tub. That's actually still good. I'm amazed that that lasted actually. Oh, and then I fill up Ali's cereal box. It's just a small box of cereal, so it doesn't actually fill it up very far. It's like a third full. And there we go. There's our creamy Cajun chicken pasta and my garlic bread. That's my one. That is Ali's. Looks so delicious. It tastes so delicious as well. And that's Mark's, which does look nice, but I think it just looks nicer with all the vegetables. And I do have a good 2, I think it was 2 portions I had left in this. Actually it was 3, Ali had some for his supper and then I put 2 tubs of it in the freezer. Oh, Simba cuddles. This is Simba giving Mark a big hug. Look at him, he proper hugs him. He's got his arm round him. Anyway guys, that is the end of this video. I'm just showing you that after all that work in the kitchen today, I do get a lot more done as well. I do change the beds and hoover and everything else. After my busy day, I just want to have a bath and relax. But thank you so much for watching. Please like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you next time.